So we just had to go to the emergency room because I don't know if y'all noticed, but the last video I did with Symphony had the guitar, she started coughing, and I'm like, where did this cough come from? So I'm like, you know, I'm doing everything to make sure that this does not manifest into anything big. So I'm making sure she's taking a bird bath because I don't want to submerge her hair in the water, because I don't want, you know, I just don't want for her to catch a cold, you know, with the open pores and everything. So yesterday I noticed that her nose was stopped up. And I'm like, okay, but the thing is that her nose wasn't running, but I could hear like as if she had some phlegm in her chest. You know how when you inhaling, but you can hear like that bubble sound, like as if it was some phlegm in her chest. So I'm looking for the little wheeze ball, and I'm thinking maybe if I just suction her nose. And so I suctioned her nose, and that upset her. So she started crying and screaming. The next thing I know, this was all last night. Next thing I know, she just started throwing up. I hope y'all can see me. Which way do I go? I'm gonna make a left right here. So, she just started throwing up, but she's throwing up like phlegm. And at first I was about to, okay, I gotta scoot back because I don't know. I'm not even about to play these games. So I'm over the line. But she just started, I hope y'all can see me because it looks like a very bad, it's saying bad connection. So anyway, she just started throwing up, but she's throwing up the phlegm. So whatever, because it was like she was trying to put her little finger up her nose, and I'm like, what's up your nose? So I'm trying to look and see, and I could tell like it was hard for her to breathe or whatever. So so she just started, y'all, I'm tired. I've been up all night with this show. So when I tried to suction it out, she just started, she got really upset. So she coughing and everything, really upset because she doesn't like the little suction thing. You okay, my sweet tails? I'm fine, mommy, I'm fine. Yeah, so she just started throwing up, but she's throwing up the phlegm. And I'm freaking out, like I'm about to tell my cousin, Nikki, but then I realized it's the cold that's coming out of her because it's all phlegm. So she's throwing it up and she's crying and she's upset because she's not taking in breaths, and I'm all, you know, trying to do everything I can. So I end up putting Vicks on her feet, on her chest, and I did the little whole steam thing like in the shower so it can open up her airway. And so that worked last night. She was fine, and she wasn't running a fever. So Lord, I still had the car in reverse. So what I did was what did I do? So I turned her some cartoons, and this is like probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. So she's sitting up there drinking milk, nursing, because y'all know Symphony is still a nursing baby. Yes, she's over 2 years old. I've been trying to wean her, but she's still a nursing child. So, but she's better though. I don't see anything. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm checking her. She doesn't have a fever. Maybe she is okay to go to daycare, because I was like, well, she's not really, everything's fine. So this morning we go through the same thing, and I'm like, I'm waking her up so I can hear her, because sometimes when I take her to the daycare, she can still be like, you know, in and out, but I wanted to hear her breathing. And so when I heard that breathing, I'm like, oh no, she's still going through what she was going through yesterday. And then when I went to bring out the syringe, the thing to suction her nose, she just started crying again. And this time, like my cousin, she witnessed it. She just started throwing up the phlegm. This is all phlegm that's coming out of her, like all mucus and everything. And I'm like, that's a good thing, but at the same time, it's freaking me out because my baby's not breathing. So I mean, she's breathing, but she's frustrated because she's not breathing like, you know, she normally would. Heck, I should have went over there to Aldi's. So anyway, so I'm like, you know what, she's not going into daycare. So I call her daycare provider and I let her know that Cynthia won't be in today. And so I take her to the emergency room and they saw her right away. And y'all, I don't want to say too much. Okay, so the nurse in there, which is very interesting, but he was very nice. He wanted to take her temperature. And you know how they put like the little Band-Aid thing on your finger? I gotta get over. Come on, you guys, let me over. You know how they put the little Band-Aid thing on your finger? Siffi's mommy going to go get you some soup. My baby needs some soup today. Yes, I'm going to give you some soup. So you know how they put the little Band-Aid thing on your finger? It's like a, but it's supposed to like it's supposed to like monitor your pulse or whatever like that. So they put that on, but Tiffany was just like, I don't want this on my fingers. She was just taking it off and everything. And so the guy was like, well, if we can't get it like that, we're gonna have to do it like pretty much. He wanted to put that thermometer rectally, right? And I'm y'all gotta excuse me, but I'm looking at him like, I understand that sometimes that's the way you have to go, especially if you're trying to get their temperature. But I'm like, we in a hospital. Y'all have more high-tech stuff, you know, like to roll off the forehead or other ways to get the temperature. Plus, Symphony wasn't really running a temperature. I know when my baby is running a temperature. Like, her temperature was never really high. So I just told him, no, we're not going to do the rectum one, but go ahead and just run the one across her, run it across her head or whatever. And so he was just like, okay. So he went ahead and did that. Her temperature was low. It was like 99.6 or something like that. So that was really low. And so we went in the back. So the doctor comes out like, what's going on? And so I tell him what was going on. And so he checks her ears. He checks her breathing and everything. And he's like, okay, what we're going to do, because I'm letting him know, like, my main issue is that when she's throwing up, she's not breathing. And that's like, you know, she's frustrated and I'm in a panic. So he decides he wanted to give her a teeny dose of steroids. And I'm like, dang, steroids? But they tell me it's like a low dosage of steroids. And before the other nurse came in, you know, I'm sitting up there nursing Stephanie because she like to get her milk in between. And so so he's saying that, and also too, they're going to test her to make sure that she doesn't have the flu. And so I'm like, okay. So, you know, Symphony, at first she was kirking off, but then when I gave her my phone so she could play her game, she was good. And they went ahead and the guy had to take like a swab in her nose to check it, make sure she didn't have the flu. So they sent that off. And so while we're in there, he asks me like, what flavor does she want to drink, like orange or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, my daughter doesn't even like to drink. When I tell y'all, Symphony is so particular. She's not a sippy cup bottle baby. I have to kind of trying to force her to drink out of a sippy cup. When I'm around, she's like, what's the purpose of me drinking out of this when I can drink from you and you can hold me? I've been really trying to wing her off, y'all. Like, I've been really trying to wing her off. So when she's in daycare, she sips from here and there, but she still doesn't, her intake with other fluids other than my milk is like, she's just like, no. And I've tried everything. I've tried putting milk in her sippy cup. I've tried giving her a bottle with a bigger hole in it. Sometimes I give her a cup. She sometimes may, depending on the mood, she may just take the cup. If she's not in the mood, she'll smack the cup and throw the cup and empty the cup, or she'll do whatever. I tried going cold turkey. I've tried everything pretty much. So anyway, when the guy was like, we're going to give her these steroids, but we need to kind of, and I hope I'm not having a really bad connection because it's real gloomy and doomy and damp on this end. And y'all, I look interesting with my little bow hat on, or whatever you want to call it. So, what am I? Okay, so he says, I said, well, let's try the orange juice. She didn't want to try the orange juice, so we had to open her mouth, and she had to take a shot of steroids. And she did. She took she took them steroids. She took a shot of steroids. And first she was kirking off screaming. I mean, she's talking like, yeah, like she was kirking off until she had the phone. And I'm like, look at your game. And then she kind of like went off to looking at the game again. Then what they said that they wanted to put her on is, I don't know if it's a Buterol, but she had to get like some little misty thing. And they wanted to do that so they could kind of like clear all of that. And at first I was kind of like, because I'm looking at her now and I'm starting to notice that her nose is running, and that's a good sign. That's letting me know that that stuff is starting to, you know, come out of her. But I guess the doctor saw something else that he wanted to put her on there. And when I spoke to the lady that it was administrating this drug, because it's like a mist, and at first they wanted to put like a mask over her, but the lady was like, the mask is so scary that when it comes to like toddlers, they do not want you to put nothing like that over them. And I'm like, okay, cool. So the lady brings the mist over to Symphony, so it's all like spraying out of this hose like the mist, and Symphony just like, oh heck no, you didn't bring me up in here for this. So she's kirking off screaming. I'm trying to hold her down. She's screaming. The lady's trying to put it all up to her. I try to get Symphony to hold it. She's screaming. So what I just say is, can I just nurse her? So I'm up here nursing Symphony. Symphony holding on to the boob, and she puts her hand over her eye like, I'm not seeing this right now, but I'm going to sit here and I'm going to drink my milk, and I'm going to put my hand over my eyeballs like this is not happening. And so that's how she was able to take that stuff. So the whole time she's inhaling it and I'm inhaling it too, because it's just going to both of us. I wonder if that stuff makes you, I don't know. But so the little mist is like all up in her face and everything, and the whole time she's drinking milk with her hand over her. And here go the doctor. She was like, that was a good idea. And I'm like, yeah. She's all like, I know this is not going on right now. I'm just going to shut my eyes, put my hand over my face, drink me some milk, and hold on to my mom, and this will go away. So the doctor comes back in, and he's basically like, this right here just happens. It, you know, he says it's a form of PrEP. I may be saying it wrong, but he's just like, it's pretty much a viral thing, and it seems very minor, so it should go away. So right now she's in good spirits. I mean, even when we were in the doctor's office, she was, in the hospital, she was just running around and doing her own thing. Also, the test came back negative, so she doesn't have the flu. But I could tell, like, her nose is still bothering her because she's trying to stick her little finger up in there. Yeah. You want to tell everybody what's going on? You want to tell everybody how you feel? Say, yes, I had to go to the ER, but I'm much better now. Let her tell you. You want to tell everybody? See, it is what it is. Stephanie's like, it is what it is. So, needless to say, because of that, I wasn't able to go and drive today. And, of course, she cannot go to daycare. And depending on how she feels tomorrow, it's going to let me know whether or not I'm going to take her into daycare. Symphony is the only, she was the only child. And now in daycare, there's a new baby that's like 3 months. And I don't want her going around no one unless she's 100% her, you know, at least okay enough. As you can see, she's not coughing. Are you okay, Symphony? Are you fine? Mommy was worried about you. Yeah, so she seems to be okay. She seems to be fine. So I'm just gonna keep a close eye on her. I'm not. One thing about colds is that I'm not, unless she had a fever, that's the only time I would try to put her body in water. But sponge baths and keeping her bundled up, because, and the thing is that Symphony has not been around anyone at all. Like, there's nobody in the house that has a cold. But then I have to remember too, like, I'm driving all of these daggone people around, but she's only in her car seat but for so long. So we didn't go anywhere that would have me feel like she contracted or caught it from somewhere. Maybe it's because the weather has changed, but in a nutshell, these people still doing work. Yeah, I want to go get some soup. We gonna get us some soup, Symphy Tails. I'm getting my baby some soup. She's gonna sit around and she's gonna drink her milk and do what she does the best. Y'all, it's saying I have a bad connection. I really hope that this thing does not sound real fuzzy. Fuzzy. Let me just go. Yeah, so we went to, again, we went to the ER. She's okay. She's fine. It was one of them things where I was just like, I don't like the simple fact that she wasn't able to breathe. That's my whole thing. I mean, it's one, and then it's like, you know, as a mother, you just like, okay, mommy just needs you to breathe. I need you to breathe. And I need to breathe too, because, you know, stuff like that will make you really, like, go off. And it's crazy because my best friend, her daughter is 2, and her daughter just got over the flu. You know, so I'm like, how's she, the flu? And you know, she got all her shots. I'm like, oh gosh, you know. So we were supposed to be going to her pediatrician tomorrow, in which I think I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know, but you know, she's okay now. She's fine. So today's gonna be one of them days where I'm just making sure she's okay. Today she's very talkative too. Yeah, you're very talkative, Symphies. Yeah, but it's one of them days where it's just like, can't be sitting up here wasting these daggone tickets, y'all. Yeah, so it's one of them days where it's just like, okay, I'm in the house. I could drive tonight, but honestly, this is going to be my last week of driving for Lyft. I just can't. I can't anymore. You know, I'm realizing you need to work smart around your schedule instead of working hard. And I don't know what I was thinking, but it was a good run. But it's stuff like this where it's just like, you know, I guess that's mommy mode. Are you okay, Symphy? I love you. Can you say mommy? So you had a time at the ER, huh? Huh? You had to have a time at the ER. You were in there. You were doing your thing. And I said to myself, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of Symphony. Symphony was doing her thing. Yeah, Symphony was doing her thing. I said, that's my baby. Sorry, y'all. I put the wrong thing in. My back felt like, oh. Sorry. sorry, y'all. How did they got things over here? Yeah, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So she doesn't have the flu. He said, "Quote." I didn't hear what he was hearing though. But he's a doctor. I suppose he knows more than me. And they decided to put that stuff. Now, I was saying to the lady, now this is not going to, because I have a best friend, and they started him on albuterol or whatever it's called. I don't know if this is a bad. Good morning. Good morning. I don't know if this is a bad connection or not. But yes, y'all, if you're just tuning in, me and Cynthia just came back from the ER. Somebody had a stuffy nose and it was throwing up mucus. It just came out of nowhere. Nobody in the house is sick. We haven't been out, especially not in this weather. You know, so daycare, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. Yeah, so I thought I didn't know at first what ER I should go to, but that ER they were very quick. They took her in, but that first nurse, he was very interesting. Very interesting. The other nurse, he was really good. He gave Symphony 2 stickers that she tore to smithereens. I know. I wish they had a drive-through. What I really wish they had a drive-through, like Shoppers Food Warehouse or a grocery store. All you had to do is just, you know, put online what you want and pull up and grab your groceries and roll off. Because I don't feel like taking her out. What we're going to do is I'm going to go in there and QRSTUVWXYNZ. I knew you were singing your ABCs. I knew A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. Uh-oh, time to go. Y, and Z. Thank you. You too. I'm telling you, one thing about parents, when your baby is not feeling good, you're not all the way on the one either, meaning like everything is thrown out of whack until the baby is okay. Mommy can't go nowhere because Cynthia can't go nowhere. You know? Y'all know how it is. Yeah, maybe Cynthia, maybe we can go get some soup. Well, how about that? Let's go get some nice soup. Mommy trying to think, do we have some soup? I think we have some soup in the house. Yes, y'all, so it's real nasty out here today. It's like ABCs. Cynthia, you're the sweetest one I know. You're the sweetest baby I know. You're such a sweet tail. And I love you. I love you. Yeah, so she's okay. She's fine. I never heard anything called, but they give her they gave her what was it again? Y'all know I'm tired. because I was up all night long with this little T-Nachi. She was watching her shows the whole time, and then just climbing all over me, just getting milk and just kicking me and looking at her shows, jumping up and down. And I'm like, little girl. And so she wouldn't go to bed. And then I said, you know what, forget this. I unplugged the TV, and I was like, it's time to go night-night. So this morning, she was like tired because she stayed up till like 2 in the morning. But when I went to see if she was okay for daycare, and I saw that, I was like, oh no, we need to go to the emergency room. And my cousin was telling me that they probably gonna say it's a viral, and which, you know, the doctor was like, that's pretty much what it is, and it's not a bad case of it. But, you know, you're just gonna, if she seems like she can't breathe or something like that, then just bring her up here. And that's my main concern. Like, if her nose is running, okay. If she's coughing, you know, I'll keep an eye on it and everything, make sure she's not having a fever. But when her nose is stopped up and she's throwing up phlegm, snot and all this other stuff, I'm like, hold up, you know, because I'm trying to clear her airway, and she's already hyperventilating because it's irritating her. So yeah, but everything turned out really good. They were really quick, so I can say that we didn't wait that long. As soon as I went in there, they saw us right away. They took some signs and everything right away. They asked about her information, my information, and everything was really good. And he basically said that this was going on. And the lady that was giving like the whole, I want to say it's Buterol, the lady who was giving like the mask with the medicine in it, she was saying that everybody's coming up in there dealing with breathing issues, and it's just not even infants, it's adults too. So, you know, it's like, really? She's like, yeah. So we're gonna be pretty much settled for the day. And her daycare provider, she was just so sweet. She said, oh, I'm gonna miss her. She said, okay, well then I'll see y'all tomorrow. So I'm hoping that she's going to be in the clear, because if she's have a slight of, you know what, I'm not sending her to daycare. And the only reason why I'm not going to send her to daycare is because you know, I love my daycare. I really do. Stephanie was the only child at one point in time, but now she went ahead and she has a new baby, and this baby's only like 3-4 months. So I'm not going to send Stephanie over there hackling and coughing with a new baby over there. That's crazy, you know. So, but if she seems to be in the clear, then I'm okay with it. If not, then she's just going to have to take another day off. See? Shout out to all you parents out there that stay home with the sick babies. Gotta do what you gotta do. Taking off from work, losing money, but guess what? Making sure that baby is okay. This is like, I heard about the tales before. I heard about the tales, you know, with my sister, my cousin, and all of them, but dang, you know. And I'm not gonna say I've never been to the emergency room with Symphony, because we've been to the emergency room before. We've been to the emergency room like about 8 months ago. She was running a really, really high fever. I mean, that fever was so high. And then right after that, I had to take my baby and wrap her up and go up to the courtroom because her daddy was dragging us in the court. Let me not go there. But say I'm okay now. I'm taking my shoes off when I'm not supposed to. Don't take those socks off. Leave them on. That's you. Leave those socks on, child. You gonna put me to work. Yeah, so they gave me like some instructions and stuff. They gave me a piece of paper nice and misty out here. Misty. All of this is just... yeah, so I'm going to take her and I'm just going to monitor her, give her some soup. Try to get her to sip some fluids other than milk. You hear that, Symphies? You need to be drinking something else other than milk. You hear me? It's time for you to use your own stash. Okay, so this is the directions that they gave me. Your child has been diagnosed with croup. Croup is a form of viral infection. Infection is in the upper part of the airway. Typically, the infection is with a virus called parainfluenza. However, other viruses may be responsible. Adults will just get a hoarse voice and a sore throat. However, a child's airway has a different shape and size. Therefore, children may develop a deep cough as well. They might also have trouble breathing. Symptoms often include barking, seal-like cough. Sometimes there's a wheezing noise when breathing and feeding. See, that's the thing. She didn't have any of that. The only thing, and I think the doctor could have, I'm not saying that he misdiagnosed it, but I think he should have, stuck around to hear what I was talking about. I can hear her breathing, I can hear like she has some phlegm or something. Fever temperature higher than 100.4, 30 AC, and runny nose are common symptoms. Are usually worse in the evening. They often wake children from sleep. They progress, get worse over about 3 days, and symptoms often improve. Group treatment includes steroid medicine in severe bad cases. Your child may need infirm. See, that's how her cough sounds. It doesn't sound like... Okay, we're gonna get out, Symphies. Don't rush me now. Settle down. Okay, I'm coming. Here. Hold on to this for me. Sometimes cool mist will be given. That's the mist that she was given. However, this has been shown to be a little of helping children with croup. If coughing/barking starts again, take your child in the bathroom, run the shower, in which I did. Let your child breathe the mist from the shower. This may help. You can also bundle up your child and take him outside. The cold night air may help. Cool air often stops crouping spells. The home remedies above should help within 15 minutes. If not, or if you notice other breathing problems is listed below, return here or go to the nearest emergency department right away. Your child was given a shot of steroids. No more medicine is needed. Routine follow-up with pediatrician is recommended. You should seek medical attention immediately for your child, either nearest emergency if your child looks sicker at any time, your child has a problem breathing, or blueness develops around lips, if your child breathes faster than normal and looks uncomfortable, skin pulls against the ribs or neck as your child tries to breathe, your child has other symptoms you are concerned about. Okay, so... Alright, so story is why she having asthma issues. No, she's not having asthma issues. What happened was, he just recommended steroids. What happened was is that when she was throwing up, she couldn't really breathe when she was throwing up the phlegm, and which has happened before. So yeah, I'm not going to say, because the doctor, he probably heard a lot of other symptoms that sound like hers, but if you heard her cough, she doesn't sound like she's barking. It sounds like a regular cough to me. Don't your cough sound regular? Cough so they can hear you. And why don't you take your Why'd you take your socks off? Why'd you take your shoes? Don't you know we got things to do? I kiss my baby feet because those are my toes. Those are her toes. She's a sweet tail. Yeah, so that's the reason why they yes. You want to say I hope you feel better now. Come on. Let's put your shoe back on. Somebody's a dramatic baby today. You want to let... Oh, Stephanie, I want to get you, child. You do things on purpose just to do. Just to do what you want to do. Here, let everyone hear you cough. Say, not now. We'll get some milk later. See, I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, so no, she doesn't have any asthma, but they wanted to they wanted to make sure that she can breathe properly, in which, you know, as when you look at your child trying to breathe, since I ain't see what you just posted, I need to go back and look at this stuff. She seemed to be, look. See, I seem to be doing good. Say hi. See, I seem to be doing good. Sippy, you want to say hi? See, I wasn't feeling good today, but I'm good now. Cough so everybody can hear you. You want to cough so everybody can hear you? Come on, let's put that other shoe on. And see, now her nose. She said hi, say hi, say hi. See, her nose is starting to her nose is starting to run, which is a good thing, because that's letting you know that it's draining. And it started to do that in the hospital. Before then, okay, now y'all hear the cough? It doesn't sound like a that sound like a regular cough to me. That didn't sound like no barking cough like how the doctor is saying. Cough again, Stiffies. So you know I can't do that on the dot. No, she's just messing with the stuff. Yeah, so yeah, so it's like even last night, it does sound like. That's what I'm thinking too, sis. Like, it does sound regular. It didn't sound like, my thing was like, I was waiting to suction something out of her nose and nothing was coming out of her nose. So when she started to she got upset because of that suction cup, like, get it away from me. She started to cough. You know how you you crying, and then that's when she started and she started throwing up, and the phlegm started coming out. And now remember, yeah, you notice now she does this. Yes, that's exactly what she was doing. She doesn't care who's around. Doctors, nurses. It doesn't matter. Give me my milk. My milk can help this situation out. That's how she is too. See, but I'm okay now. Yeah, I mean, you can see, like, no, she wasn't. Oh, now I can see the now I can see. Uh-oh. I thought I could see the messages, but let me see. Oh Lord, is it buffering now? You know what, for some odd reason I just feel like it's bad connection when it's raining outside. So I'm gonna put her. Say hi, say bye bye. Say bye bye. So she's doing okay. She's not running no favor. So I'm about to take her in the house, y'all. And I'm about to get her some soup, take all of this stuff off, and just monitor her. But that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a minor cold. So, but I'm just gonna see what he says. But I'm definitely not gonna if she's still acting up tomorrow, I'm not gonna send her in the daycare because I just don't want no one else to get anything. So yeah. So yeah, y'all. You beeping the horn? Say bye. You got a tongue there? Come on, girl. You see yourself? Alright, say bye bye. Bye bye. Alright, y'all.